Hey guys, Teresa here. Welcome back to my channel, Lost My Thread. Today I'm going to be talking about 7 very popular sewing patterns that I will not be sewing, and I'll tell you why. For anybody who's new around here, like I said, I'm Teresa. I was born and raised in Chicago in the US, and I have been living in London, England for over 20 years. I am very much obsessed with sewing, which is most of what my channel is about, but I do dabble in other crafts as well. Today is very much a sewing related video, and I want to preface this by saying I am not here to tear down any sewing patterns, pattern companies. What I love about sewing, one of my favorite things about sewing, is that we can all make exactly what we want, exactly the way we want to. And I think it's fun just to have a look at what's around and just try and think about whether or not I'm interested in jumping on board the bandwagon. I have definitely jumped on board a lot of bandwagons in sewing. There are a lot of very popular sewing patterns that I've made. Some of them I've loved and some of them have turned out to be an absolute flop. And so I try to be a little bit more thoughtful when a new pattern is out, particularly when they're very popular and I feel like everybody is making this pattern. Rather than just deciding I want to join in because it looks great on other people, I want to think about whether that pattern would actually work for me and whether I would actually like it on my body. So these are very much my own personal opinions. I would love to hear your opinions on these patterns or any other very popular patterns that do not appeal to you. I think it's fun to hear different perspectives. Now, the way I picked these patterns was by a little bit of feel of just what I think I've been seeing around in styles that I've been seeing, but also things that I've been seeing crop up on YouTube, over on Threadloop. I'm not on Instagram anymore, so I'm a little bit out of that. I really like Threadloop, which is a website where you can post reviews and finished garment photos of different projects that you're working on. You can also upload your stash. And so Threadloop has different ways of sorting all the patterns on their website. One, by what has been stashed by the most people, so what most of the users own, and then 2, what most people are making and reviewing. You could even look at what people are liking and kind of wanting to make, but I decided to stick with things that were being made or people had purchased, because I feel like those are definitely good evidence that these are definitely popular patterns. So I picked out a handful of patterns, it turned out to be 7, that are high on the popularity list but low on my personal interest list. I'm going to be sharing them from the least popular to the most popular, which I feel like correlates pretty well with the least unpopular to the most unpopular opinion, because clearly if so many people are loving these patterns and I am not, I am against the tide, which I'm okay with. I would definitely love for you guys to tell me why I'm wrong, try and convince me, because it may well be that I change my mind about some of these patterns, but these are the ones I'm currently just not so interested in. I'm going to scoot over so that I can put up some images. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Flyaway Crossbody Bird Bag by Mad Makes. I think this is a really cute bag pattern. I've actually been seeing a trend for these kinds of bags that are like animal shaped or something a little bit funky. This company also do a fish one, which I think I slightly prefer to the bird one. Something I get, and like I see why people like this, is because within the pattern you get instructions of how to make different types of birds, so you can make it your own. It's very quirky, very cute, very fun. I think for me really though, I've made a lot of fun, quirky, interesting things, and I think I've learned over time that the more unusual an item is, and particularly the more colors it has in it, the less I am likely to wear it, because I feel like it goes with so few things in my wardrobe. And you can fully embrace just having a wild bag, and occasionally I will do that, but I just know that I'm not going to reach for it as much in the day to day. And when I look at this bag in particular, and I look at a lot of the makes, I feel like there's something about it that looks a lot more kind of homemade and crafty than the kind of look I'm usually going for in a bag. I think it is cute for lots of people. I just know that it's not a bag that I would be wearing, which is why I'm not interested. I get the trend, but I'm just not jumping on board because it is not one for me. Next up is the Colorblock set from Matchy Sewing Club. This is a free pattern, and that probably does bump it up the popularity list in all likelihood, because if it's free, why not just download it? You may never use it, but at least just grab it while it's free. The main thing for me with this is just the overall style and shape, silhouette of this top that I know is just not a shape for me. I really do appreciate that kind of crisscross intermix of different fabrics. I love that it's a good scrap buster for that reason. But personally, when I see this top, I more just think, oh, that would be a great idea of something that I could do with a pattern that I already have. So I would take a pattern that I know I like the shape, that fits me really well. I would add those cut lines, basically cut the top or the front and the back vertically and horizontally, add a little bit of seam allowance into each of those seams, and just piece that up together for myself. I think it looks really cute, but it is just not a good shape for my body. It's a very oversized boxy tee, but too oversized for my personal liking, particularly the peplum version. And I feel like this kind of is just going across the board with peplum tops. I feel like I have tried time and again to make peplum tops, to wear peplum tops, and every time I try them and wear them, I realize I just don't like them on my body shape. I feel like I want things, or I prefer things to kind of skim my waist a bit more and be a little bit closer fitting along the hip. It's just not my personal style. I really do like the look of it on other people. It's just not one I'm personally ever going to be making. And the next sewing pattern that I will not be making is the Honeygirl Tee by Paradise Patterns. Now this is one that I actually had to kind of pause because I kept seeing it around, and the more you see a pattern around, you're like, oh, well, maybe, you know, that looks kind of cute. Is that something I would wear? Is that something I would like? And the more I kept looking at it, the more I was realizing that it is just a style that I do not want to revisit. This is very much the tiny tees, the baby tees from the 1990s. I wore them the first time around, guys. I was very much in these in the early to mid 90s, and I feel like there's just too much of a like dress up feeling to me, that I'm like dressing up as my like 12-year-old self. It feels very from the era, which is very fun if you were not around in that time. But if you were, it's very hard to go back to these things. And I feel like I would be very uncomfortable wearing this top. Part of what was really making me wonder is because it actually comes with multiple bust cup sizes, which for me is often like, it tips me over into wanting to make a sewing pattern. I think it's really cute. It's specifically made for pointelle fabrics, and I think if you've been wanting to try pointelle fabrics, it's nice to have a pattern that's specifically designed for that, because it has a really specific amount of stretch for it to kind of fit the body well. And I love that people are revisiting old fashion. I love the looks of these tops and seeing them around, but I'm past my tiny tee phase. I don't need to go back there. Another pattern that I honestly expected to be higher up on the popularity list from how much I feel like I've been seeing it around is the Pleat top by Alamain Studio. Now, it might be that this is just a little bit more of a recent pattern, so maybe that's why it isn't quite as popular as some of the ones that have been around for a bit longer. But boy, have I seen a lot of these tops over on Threadloop, and I've seen quite a few of them over on YouTube here as well. I think it's a really stunning top to look at. I think it has a really unique style. It does make you kind of stop in your tracks and you're like, ooh, what is that? That's really interesting. It has super interesting design lines. So it has these pleats going along one of the sides to give a little bit of shaping. It is asymmetrical, so it's higher on one side, lower on the other side. But that's pretty much for me kind of where it ends. For me, there are much bigger drawbacks. So number one is I feel like the shape around the high bust and the arm area kind of look off on pretty much most versions I've seen. And nothing against anyone who has made one I've probably not seen and I'm probably not remembering, because I'm sure there are some good ones. But I feel like the way the pleats come in on one side, it kind of bunches up under the armhole on the other side. It's a drop sleeve, so you're always going to have a little bit of folds there, but it just feels like kind of awkward and like there's too many folds, and it gives me the feel of when I need a full bust adjustment, but I haven't bothered to do one. I feel like I would never be fully satisfied with the fit of this top. And the other issue for me is, as far as wearing it and styling it, it kind of falls between the styles. I just honestly don't know what I would pair it with, because I tend to wear more cropped tops with my higher waisted bottoms, like my shorts, my pants, my skirts. And if I have a longer top, I prefer to wear that with lower waisted bottoms. But it's both. So I feel like if it's too high waisted, it looks a bit odd on the longer side. And if it's a lower waisted pair of pants or shorts, there's a little bit too much skin showing on the more cropped side. I think probably the ideal is to have a little bit of skin showing, and that is going to be very much like personal preference. If you feel comfortable with that, I probably would have felt more comfortable with that maybe like 20 years ago, but I don't think right now I want to have a little bit of high hip peeking out. I feel like I just wouldn't want to wear it, and I don't know what else I would wear with it to have it make sense. But between those things, I feel like there's just too much for me that is unappealing to outweigh the things that are cool and interesting about this top. Maybe I'd be considering making something kind of similar but didn't have the same downfalls for me, or at the very least had better like bust shaping, so I feel like I could maybe get a better fit. But as it stands, I'm just not really wanting to touch this. And now I feel like I'm getting to the real heavy hitters that I think a lot of you will be surprised to hear that I'm not interested in. I definitely feel like I am, apart from the vast majority of the sewing community, absolutely in love with these patterns. I do not get the hype around the Henrietta skirt by Spaghetti Western Patterns. Maybe I do, like I can kind of squint and imagine being somebody else entirely and really liking this skirt. Again, it has really interesting design lines, and I feel like when a pattern has interesting design lines, when it has a little bit of ruffling and gathering, it sparks something in the sewing community, which I get because there's a lot of very basic patterns that are not super exciting. So yes, it does have some interesting design lines. It has this curved gather on the bottom portion of the skirt from about kind of the high to low hip. The issue for me with this one is I feel like that extra bulk, that extra gather is exactly where I do not want it. I have bigger hips than my waist. I have bigger hips than my bust. So I'm a bit of an hourglass, but definitely a bit more pear-shaped. So adding bulk to that part of my body at the hips is wild to me. And I feel like this pattern is maybe for people who have different body shapes and maybe want to emphasize more of that curve shape. Maybe they want to add a little bit more bulk to the hip area, or maybe I'm misinterpreting entirely. Being Spaghetti Western Patterns, I do think there is kind of a cool cowgirl vibe. I think there's a bit of a Western feel to it, which I get, and I think there is something quite cool and chic about the pattern photos. But on me, I could not even imagine. I feel like I would put that on if I were in a shop trying it on, and I would just pull the worst face, and I would just be like, yuck, get this off me immediately. I just know the shape and the silhouette are just not going to be good for my body. I would not feel good in this skirt. I am not interested in making this one. If you love it, go love it, and I hope you feel amazing in it, but not me. This next one I feel almost a bit reluctant to bring up because I think I'm gonna get a huge outcry from the community by saying this, because I know this is not a popular opinion. It is my own personal opinion, and we're all entitled to our opinions. I do not get the barrel leg pants trend. I don't. I've never gotten it. I've never understood it. It was one of these things that came in and I felt like, oh, that's kind of a quirky, unusual shape. I bet that'll be gone in a year or so. It's persisted and people clearly love it. The pattern specifically that seems to be the most popular of this is the Code Trousers by daughter Judy, but there are so many different bare leg pants patterns. Some have elastic waist, some have zipper waist. It is definitely out there in ready-to-wear shops. It is out there in the sewing community, and a lot of people I have heard talking about like wanting to try it out because they see it's popular, but they don't know if it's for them, and a lot of times they find out it's not for them. I don't get it, guys. I feel like, again, it's one of these things where it's an unusual shape. It's not the shape of legs, right? Most of us don't have bow legs, and I don't really understand why I would want the appearance of bow legs. I think people feel that it's a flattering shape or a good shape for them. Again, I feel like I've got curves on my torso. I don't need more curves in my legs. I feel like there's something that I'm missing here, guys. And I bet they're probably very comfortable. It's nice to have room kind of in the leg area, but you can also just wear wide leg pants. There's a disconnect for me here with that particular style, and I don't see myself ever being swung the other way because this has gone on for so long. I've seen so many versions of bare leg pants. I've seen more subtle bare legs, but I feel like I don't really even know why I would want that. I would just go for a wide leg or a straight leg. But again, that's me, not on the bare leg trend. If you are, you do you. and be like most of the people out there, and I will just sit in my corner feeling a little bit baffled. And the number one sewing pattern that is very popular, I feel like this is like by far and away one of the most popular patterns out there at the moment, and I have zero interest in making it, is the Lane Pants by Sid Graham patterns. These are an elastic waist pants. There are some different options, which I think is nice. So there's like a slash pocket. There's also an optional cargo pocket, which I think is a cute detail. The reason why I'm not interested in this is nothing against this design. It's nothing against this style. It's just that I've been sewing for a long time. I've made a lot of elastic wide leg pants, and I don't need another pattern of that style. I recently have discovered my favorite elastic wide leg pants, which are the June pants by Helen's Closet Patterns. I'm actually wearing them today because I happened to finish these this morning. When I was thinking about why I didn't want to make this particular pattern, I was thinking about patterns that I've made before, and I had made this pattern in a knit fabric, so like a sweatshirting fabric. I'd made it in shorts, and I'd made like the petal view because there's multiple views of this particular pattern. And I haven't made the regular shorts, but I hadn't made them in a woven. And I thought, you know what, before I start saying that these are my go-to now for elastic wide leg pants, I need to see what they're like in a woven. So I made these up in a viscose linen fabric, started yesterday, finished them off this morning. And guys, I love them. This is my pattern. This is the one for me. I don't need to pivot. I don't need to try a new pattern. I'm going to make the ones that I like and keep on making them. The main thing is I just really like the fit of these pants. So they are wide leg, so I have a good lot of room through the legs. Really great summer pants. These are definitely not as big though around the hip and the waist as most elastic waist patterns are. There's actually relatively minimal ease, I would say, around the hip area, but they're still very comfortable for sitting, for moving around. I'm sitting in them right now. They are not feeling tight in any way, shape, or form. It also means then that there's just not as much bulk going into the waist, so there's not as much gathering underneath the waistband. There is also just a little bit of shaping at the top of the pants going from the hip into the waist, again, just to minimize too much excess fabric in that area. These have a side seam pocket, but my friend Helen of Helen's Closet does have a tutorial of how to put slash pockets into a pair of pants that don't have them. There is also a tutorial for these exact pair of pants of how to add a cargo pocket, including a pattern piece you can download, or you can just look at the explanation dimensions of what she recommends for different sizes with full instructions of how to add a cargo pocket. The Lane pants, from what I've seen, what I've read around, is they are quite oversized. There's a lot of people who end up sizing down. A lot of people have said that they're very long in the crotch. They've had to take some of the rise out. I just feel like there's no point in me starting with a pattern from scratch and fiddling with it to get the fit just right. If I have a pair that work for me, I'm gonna go with the pair that work for me. But I think it's great that there are so many different ones out there with all different blocks, all different shapes, so we can all find the elastic waist pants pattern for us, because we all know how comfortable they are, how useful they are to have in their wardrobe. But I'm not gonna be straying towards the Lane pants when I've got my June pants and I'm happy where I am. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and could take it in the spirit in which it was intended. I honestly really like that there are patterns out there that I do not like, because that means there are patterns out there for people who are different from me, who have different interests, different styles, and there will be things that they don't like that I like. And the sewing community is better for having all variety, definitely. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if there's another sewing pattern that I didn't mention that you just don't understand why it's so popular, but you're seeing everybody making it. We're not all going to be on the same page with these things, but it's fun to just look and see how our opinions differ. If you did like today's video, please do give it a thumbs up down below. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!